Sometimes there's only but one remedy. You know exactly the thing you need. It never fails when I've been gone too long. Things just seem to start going wrong. Memories fade, seasons change. One thing remains, the way you make me feel. And it feels so good to be home again. It's so good to see you, my friend. I hope I get to see you again soon. Feels so good to be home again. It's so good to see you, my friend. I hope I get to see you again soon. Sometimes you just have to go back to where it all began. You still listen to your own mind. And I hope it reminds you exactly who you are. And you're never too far to find. Memories fade, seasons change. One thing remains, the way you make me feel. Feels so good to be home again. It's so good to see you, my friend. I hope I get to see you again soon. It feels so good to be home again. It's so good to see you, my friend. I hope I get to see you again soon. It feels so good to be home again. It's so good to see you, my friend. I hope I get to see you again soon. It feels so good to be home again. It's so good to see you, my friend. I hope I get to see you again soon. Feels so good to be home again. It's so good to see you, my friend. I hope I get to see you again soon. Feels so good to be home again. It's so good to see you, my friend. I hope I get to see you again soon. It's so good, so good. I hope it's not too late before we see that home.
me grab my headset, actually.
She said, can you start with Living in the Sweet Spot theme song? Do you have it? Hold on, he's trying to find it. Hold on.
I cannot hear her. I can.
Gotta go to the sweet spot where the spirit and my soul can meet. Gotta go to the sweet spot, 'cause it's more than just a place to eat. Gotta go to the sweet spot, 'cause there's healing for my
The
broken
Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, weekday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Fans have dubbed him the Tupac meets Deepak, or the hip-hop Dr. Phil. Zoe brings a thoughtful and unique perspective to relationships, religion, spirituality, social systems, and more. He has a gift for connecting random conversations to a more profound meaning of life. For over 20 years now, Zoe has dedicated himself to sharing his knowledge and personal experiences, offering listeners a highly non-traditional, scientific, and spiritual approach to deconstructing themselves to understand self and engage in better relationships. I welcome to the stage, Zoe Williams.
I wasn't going to interrupt my own intro. I said I'm going to listen to it and enjoy it. How you guys doing today? Welcome to the sweet spot. This is going to be really amazing and interesting. Unfortunately, I won't be telling my own stories today. Darn. But we have a lot of great storytellers here, and I think it's going to be inspirational, and I believe that that is the purpose. It's a nice audience here. Let me ask, which is the best zodiac sign? That sounds terrible. Hold on. Are there any Scorpios here? Okay, you guys are not enough of you guys. Any Aquarius? There we go. What about Capricorn? Gemini? Okay, it's starting to come together. I'm not going to mention Pisces. Oh, I did. I'm sorry. Let me ask you guys another question. What is your favorite holy book? Anybody read the Quran? No? What is your favorite time in history? Now? I love it. I'm bringing these different narratives up because these are all stories. The Bible, the Quran, the Torah, the Dharmapada from Buddhism, the Bhagavad Gita from the Hindu faith. These are all stories. History. These people in here right now, we have an amazing history, don't we? Right? As far as we've come to this moment, we have an amazing story. Then you take it all the way to your home. Each and every one of us has an individual story that modeled us in childhood, correct? Do you know what the most important story that you'll ever break up with is? Yeah, it's a curveball, huh? Yeah. The most important story that you'll ever break up with is the story that molded you. The story you were born into. Why do you have to break the mold? Well, you can't be you until you pick up the pen of self-authorship. Right? That's what this is about tonight. Your story supersedes all the other stories you believe in. Because if you believe in a story without believing in your own, you're just a character in someone else's imagination. Why not be the author of your own reality? Do you see how powerful this event is by being able to articulate your truth, your reality, your perspective? Oh, I'm a Gemini, really? Sounds different. It's a little different now, doesn't it, right? Oh, I'm a this, I'm a that. But are you the author of what you believe in? Right? What is the root word of the word believe? Lie. Comes from the Middle English and Latin. Be lie. In Middle English, it's bellalogian. To give the lie away as a gift. That's what believe means. You see it right there. B-E-L-I-E-V-E. The root word is lie. Now, when we believe in stories that were authored by anybody but us, we give power to the lie. This is why it's called my truth. When are you going to pick up the pen of self-authorship and begin to write your story as authored by you? Does that make sense? I know it's a little, a little jarring, but that is the purpose of why we live, right? Why we're in relationship. Relationship reveals us to ourselves. Now, if you've been running from yourself this whole time, you've been believing a lie, right? So this is what I want to do. I want to bring on the creator of this amazing event. You guys know about her, right? She has a show on KBLA Talk 1580. She's an amazing person. You guys got to give it up for Angelique. Come on out here, Angelique. Come on.
That's amazing. You can put that one.
I'll put it back.
Got you. sweet spot. I'm so excited. So, Williams, come up here for a minute, brother. The voice of reason. Give it up for voice of reason. I'm so happy to have you. Now, I have to tell you a little story. So, Zoe Williams, every night, he is on KBLA, Talk 1580, and he is talking it up, and he is pontificating, and he is quite deep, this brother. And I had him on my show one time, and I said, I can get really through to most people because all my storytellers were actually on my show. So I know how to talk to somebody. I know how to get to the heart of the matter. And I said, I'm going to get to the heart of the matter with Zoe Williams. Zoe was a closed book.
Don't do that. Tell the truth.
Tell the truth and make you free, right? But my point is, I said, Zoe, will you tell a story? And I said, these are tumultuous times. These are difficult times. And I said, can you tell a funny story? Because we're going to need a funny story today. He's like, I ain't got no funny stories. I got deep, sad stories. Right?
I did say that. Yes, I said that.
Maybe next time, right? Okay, so we agreed that these...
We have to do this publicly?
So we're going to work it out.
Okay.
So he's going to come back to another Sweet Spot Live and tell his personal story. So let's thank Zoe Williams for being here today.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And make sure you tune in to The Voice of Reason. When is it on?
Monday through Thursday, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
On KBLA Talk 1580. Thank you, Zoe Williams. All right, take that. You can put that over there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming back. Those of you who are coming back to living in the Sweet Spot Live. How's everybody doing today? I'm so happy to see you. Welcome to my Storytellers First. Woo! I'm so excited. I'm so excited for each of you, for having the courage first, for having the discipline, for knowing that you matter, for knowing that your story matters, and for being willing to be that authentic and that loving and that generous to put it out here on the table. So before we even hear their stories, let's give it up for them. So, has anybody been to a Sweet Spot Live before? Okay. All right, so some of you are coming back. This is only the second one. This is the second of many. And thank you first to the Miracle Theater for hosting us. Thank you, Owen and Mai. Thank you. Thank you for the cast and crew. We appreciate you. Thank you for the sponsors. Thank you for everybody who is here. Now, did I get all that out? Because we're going to get going. And let me just tell you, I think I'm supposed to say that we are going to deal with some real stuff. Some of it will be told in a lighthearted way. But some of it is really, could be triggering. So there's your trigger warning. But if y'all lived like I lived in this community, in our lives, in our package, we all been through some stuff, right? We all been triggered through some stuff, right? So I think our whole lives need a trigger warning. That's kind of how I feel. I got a warning label right on my forehead. Anybody feel like that? So we're going to just go through this journey. And we're going to keep it real. And we're going to chop it up. And we're going to, the reason why story is important is because it teaches each of us how to become more empathetic. It reminds us that our lives matter. That we are not here accidentally. We are here on purpose with a purpose. Those of you who walked in the door, did you all get your bookmarks? So we are here on purpose with a purpose. If you watch and listen to my show, whether you listen on Spotify or you look on YouTube or you listen occasionally or all the time, you know that the sweet spot is defined as the intersection between divine timing, power, and performance, all for a purpose. So I don't believe any of this is accidental. So we're going to get going. Now, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Did you guys open? Oh, wait, I got to give one more shout out to my producers. You're going to look in the program. But you know what? Technology is so amazing that my main producers, I got a couple of producers, but I got to first give a shout out to my daughter. So if you scan your program, that child, Ariana Francis, last year she was in Boston trying to finish up grad school. Now she's in Seoul, Korea, producing from Seoul, Korea. I don't know, 14, 15, 16-hour difference. What's happening, Ariana? I love you. You're the best. She's producing from Seoul, Korea. So everybody say, what's happening, Ariana? She's watching on live stream. I appreciate you. We got Jasmine in the back. What's up, Jasmine? And we got Linda. Linda's somewhere running around here. Thank you, Linda. Okay, without further ado, I want to introduce you to, let me get my things ready. Wait a second. No, not that. That's not what I want. Give me 2 seconds. Oh, Lord, Lord, Lord. Here we go. Where is Lawrence? Oh, we're going to take a minute. I'm going to introduce Lawrence properly, but I don't have Lawrence up on my phone right quick. But Lawrence is, let me tell you about last year. Lawrence, I met him. He's a bassist. Lawrence came, and we talked about what I want to do. And I told him I have these incredible stories, but I need to bring them alive. So Lawrence came and participated, and he's my bass player. And he came to the stage. Everybody say, what's happening, Lawrence? So Lawrence is going to improv. He didn't write the soundtrack, but he's going to use his creative gifts, and he's going to tell his own musical story while he listens to these stories. Isn't that cool? So he's going to create as they create these stories in this experience for you. So everybody, you can read his bio. It's quite impressive. If you don't know how to use the scan, take your program, scan it on your phone with a photo. If you're over 60, just have the person next to you show you how it works. And if they're over 60, then turn to the left and have that person show you. And then if you really need help, raise your hand. Do you have anything you want to say? Come up here for a second. How was your experience in the first Sweet Spot Live?
Lovely. I was in the sweet spot. We're going to be in another one tonight.
All right. So let's have a little improvisation from Lawrence right now. Okay, lovely. Thank you, Lawrence. So let me, without any further ado, ask our first storyteller to come to the stage. This is Dwayne Cox. He was actually the only person that was in Sweet Spot Live 1. Let me tell you, Dwayne Cox, he's an actor, screenwriter, martial artist, visual effects editor, and the public speaker, all in his spare time. Well, he's not bragging, but he truly finds the time to be a perfect micro... You wrote this? Okay, finds the time to be a perfect microcosm of the necessity of community and learning empathy. He cannot wait to see what everybody has in store. Come on to the stage, Dwayne Cox. I call him 2.0. Come on, Dwayne Cox, to the stage. After you. Whoa.
Hey y'all, how's it going? So I know we got to get this party started, so I'm just gonna lay it out for you guys, all right? So the first Sweet Spot Live was a very transformative experience for me. The different stories I heard across from people from all walks of life, it gave me a humility that I probably wouldn't have gotten otherwise. You know, we heard stories from heart-wrenchingly brutal to side-splittingly hilarious. And the underlying thing about all these stories is that everybody had an experience that made them who they are and gave them a wisdom because of it. See, when life puts you through a test, it makes you qualified to give a testimony. And if ever there was a story of tests and testimonies, it was the whole story of the production last year. See, I'm on the autism spectrum, and I'm an overachiever. So I decided to write and memorize my story first, because I'm goal-oriented like that. So a lot of the rehearsals were more or less waiting games. I mean, vulnerable and very heart-wrenching waiting games, but still waiting games. I mean, you know, we had to account for people showing up late or going over time or just different schedules. Basically, any theater production. And just like any theater production, it was almost an absolute disaster opening night. You see, our fearless and indomitable leader, Angelique, took every precaution to not get sick at the Sweet Spot. This included downing vitamin C zinc drinks as if they were water 24/7. And as someone who has actually overdosed on magnesium in college, too much of a good thing is not a good thing. It all culminated that opening morning when she felt a tightness in her throat. She went to her mirror, and if anybody has seen the Will Smith movie Hitch when he gets the allergy scene, it was basically that. So one trip to the emergency room, they pump her full of Benadryl, and then she drives all the way to the theater against the recommendation of her doctors. And you would think that would be the end of the story, right? No. You see, when she arrived at the theater, one of our speakers, who happened to be a former gang member, was in a territorial dispute with another rival current gang member over the only parking spot available to her. He was ready to re-enter the game that day. She enters the theater, and immediately another speaker of ours, retired firefighter Munko Cruz, shout out, immediately noticed our director incredibly high on antihistamines. And so he had 5 EpiPens in his truck ready and raring to go. And when I say ready and raring, I mean he was insisting on using them. Once a first responder, always a first responder. He never left the game. Showtime rolls through, and we're spilling our guts in front of a crowded theater and a live stream at that. We hear stories from Trey Patterson about how he overcame addiction. We heard stories from Ivy about how she pretended to be a boy at 10 years old to get her first kiss. We heard stories about escaping prostitution and incarceration, about a marriage that started from a Broadway musical. Mind you, this story had so many contradictions between the husband and the wife telling it that, quite frankly, you could have written a whole musical duet about it, and it would have made perfect sense. We even had a story about a kid who had an epilepsy attack in Caesar's Palace in Vegas, and to this day, his family will now and forever call it Seizure's Palace. It was honestly quite a miracle that the whole show went off without a hitch, so to speak. And speaking of miracles, I have to take this time to address a walking miracle in particular, which was a woman by the name of Jackie Gouche. Our dearly departed sister in Christ. Jackie was a force of nature. You see, she told a story about how music came into her life, saved her life, and how she passed that gift on to her 3 sons, 3 major music producers now working to this very day. She and Angelique would work out the story that she would sing in interludes during the parts where music course corrected her life, almost as if she was writing a ballad of Jackie Gouche. No one could have imagined that in a few short months after that, she would gain her wings and go on to heaven. It really only goes to show you that you got to really take the precious time, because no man or woman knows the day or the hour that you're called back. But the saving grace is the way I see it, she went from the miracle theater to being seated next to the King of Miracles himself. And because she shared her story with us, she's with us right here, right now in this moment, because you only truly die or go when people stop speaking your name. This is all to say that every man or woman has a story, a testimony. How we share them is how we connect with other people, how we relate to them, how we can, in fact, immortalize ourselves in their hearts. So without further ado, I would like all of you to sit back, relax, buckle up, and let a whole new batch of speakers immortalize themselves in yours. Welcome to Sweet Spot Live, y'all. Have a great night.
Everybody, let's get into it. Get started, get it started, get it started, get it started. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started.
All right. That was Dwayne Cox 2.0. Give it up for Dwayne. All right, next up on the stage, we have Skipp Townsend. For numerous years, Skipp Townsend has been a key interventionalist in the city and county of Los Angeles. Prior to Second Call and his work in the community, Mr. Townsend was identified as an active gang member in Cal Gang's database used by law enforcement to identify local gang affiliates. After transitioning from a negative lifestyle, Mr. Townsend received various forms of formalized training. As a community activist, Mr. Townsend currently facilitates intervention trainings for Los Angeles City certified intervention workers and law enforcement officials. Mr. Townsend also regularly facilitates trauma-informed life skill courses throughout various communities in the greater Los Angeles area, along with facilitating courses throughout California prisons. Won't you welcome right here into the sweet spot, Skipp Townsend. Come on up.
Okay, baby.
All right.
Here we go. It's time.
Good evening, everybody. Y'all like that song? I do too. So listen, I want to tell you guys a story. I've practiced this story. I've gone over it 100 times, but I want to tell you something else first. Before I get into my story, I want to tell you guys about one night. When I'm in South LA and I'm waiting on one of my friends, me and my friends are hanging out, and this one guy went, said he's going to get some gas, go to the gas station. He never came back. So what happened was, this particular night, we get the phone call. Say the people, I want to say people, I don't want to gangbang with you guys, but the people from the other community that was our opposing community caught him at the light, and they was shooting at him. They was chasing him. So he had to get out of there fast, and he got in his car and he drove to the Baldwin Village area. We call that the Jungles. So let me share with you guys a little bit about the Jungles. Can you imagine having 25,000 people in a 1.5 square mile radius? So 1.5 square miles with 25,000 people. And this is the place where there's a lot of apartment buildings, a lot of trees. It was called the Jungles way back in the days because of the trees, but it's the only area in Los Angeles that has a community. Once again, I'm avoiding the word gangs, has a community that came from somewhere else. Everything in LA was started here. This is the home of the Crips and the Bloods, but this particular area has what we call the Black Pea Stones. It's blood area. So when I jump in this car, everybody's moving, trying to hurry up and get there. I jumped in one of my friend's cars, and I jumped in his car because my car wasn't there, and he has a nice emerald green El Camino. It's a Conquista. He has Dayton wires. They're gold and green, and it's a beautiful car. And I jump in the car, but the catalytic converter isn't any good. It doesn't work good, so it looks beautiful, but it's going slow, going real slow. So I got the music playing, the stereo system. Y'all know what I'm playing? Michael Cooper. See, that's what the thing. He was the lead singer, could function, but he had this one song I love, and I would play it loud like this, like this. Y'all hear me? All right. I come through the Jungles bumping this, right? But I got to share something with y'all, though. The police could hear me before I could see them, so let me turn it down. Let me turn it down real quick. So I turned the music down because I didn't want the police to know I was coming. So I'm sitting at the light on Coliseum in Buckingham. I'm going westbound, and a car comes and turns left, and before I know it, there's a gun at my face. Remember, the car don't drive off fast, so I know I can't run. And I'm looking at the guy. I'm face to face with him, and I recognize him. I said, oh yeah, that's him. So I'm thinking, man, he's about to shoot me. He got me dead bang. There's absolutely nothing I could do. And I could smell the gunpowder. I could smell the gunpowder. Like, you've been using that same gun. I could smell it. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, I've been living my life suicidal. I'm reckless. I've been gang banging, selling dope. You know, I was never going to kill myself, not that kind of suicide, but I signed up every day to be dead. So I just conceded. Okay, this is it. I saw him moving his lips, but he was talking, but he wasn't talking to me, and I'm thinking, what is he doing? What's he talking about? And after about 10 or 15 seconds, they drove off. I was like, wow. All right, let me go on where I'm going. Let me get away from here. But I never understood it. And one day, my mentor, Darren Bo Taylor, this is about 20 years later, he started putting people together, and he put me in the same room with this guy. And when I saw him, I said, hey, look, man, you had me. Do you remember when I was on Coliseum? He said, yeah, I remember. I was driving the Great Regal, and one of his friends came up and said, that wasn't him, Skipp, that was me. He said, you was looking at him, but I was the dark side on the passenger side. He was talking to me. I was telling him who you were, and he kept telling me, nah, that ain't him. That ain't him. He said, man, you know who that is? That's the dude that be dancing and pop-locking. You know, he dance on Soul Train, you know? And I'm telling y'all now, I can't dance. You know, I can do the same old two-step. But he thought I was a guy named Keith that danced on Soul Train. So I can't tell you much more about that situation. I can't tell you no more about him or his friends. But that night, Soul Train saved my life. All right, I just had to throw that in there. So let me tell you the story, right? So when I went to jail in Las Vegas, Nevada, right? I remember I told you I was gang banging, doing all kind of stuff, and eventually it caught up with me. And when it caught up with me and I ended up going to jail, the judge sentenced me to prison at Indian Springs, Nevada. And when I went to prison, remember, I'm reckless. I didn't tell y'all, but I'm 125 pounds, grown man. So that means there were girls in the 6th grade bigger than me, right? And I'm in prison, 125 years old. And what happened is I was living reckless, and my Muslim brothers would always come up to me and greet me. And they would greet me in the name of peace. They would say, Assalamu alaikum. And which in this term, it means, may peace be with you. But I was so young and childish and foolish that I would greet them back and say, I drive a Lincoln too. And I don't know if y'all know, but that's highly disrespectful. And being on a prison yard, it's really like a death sentence. But once again, I was living life without void of anything positive and powerful for myself. So the Muslim imam on the yard, he took a liking to me. And eventually, word traveled fast that my Muslim brothers wanted me to stop breathing. Y'all get that? Permanently. They wanted me to stop breathing. But because of my ignorance, because of my arrogance, because I did not realize, I should have been scared, that's a death sentence, but I wasn't. I was calm, cool, I was collective, because it didn't matter. So what eventually happened was the Muslim imam took control, and he said, man, leave him alone, let him be. Because one day, he will be the leader of a great nation. And I was like, where did he get that from? I did not understand. I was not believing it myself. I found it hard to believe. I didn't want to say he was lying. I just want to say I found that hard to believe. So eventually the staff there at the correctional officers put us in the cell together, and he became my cellmate. And I was still disrespectful. I'm eating pork rinds while he's sitting there praying. I'm eating all the forbidden foods, you know. I'm sitting there, I can't wait to get me a pork chop and some rice when I get home, and I'm eating all the hostess. You know, they tell me the hostess is made of the pig feet, the pig lard and all this, and they say, you can't eat that, brother, and I put it in my mind, yeah, I'm gonna eat this, you know. And they were so angry, and they felt like it was wasted for him to even invest in me. But what happened, eventually I went to a visit, and he got the visit the same day. So he's on a visit, I'm on a visit, and I could see that he was interested in my family. And he asked me, he said, man, you got a beautiful mother and 2 children, man, do you love them? And I said, yes, I love them. He said, let me ask you a question. Do you love them enough to die for them? And I'm 125 pounds. I poked my chest down and said, man, I'll die for them. And he said, you know what, calm down, bird chest. He said, you're ready to die for these very people that need you to be alive. He said, you're ready to give of your life for the people who would be lost if you lost your life. He said, can you find yourself being willing to live for them instead of ready to die for them? I say, yeah, I could do that, but I'm still in my immature stage, and I'm like, yeah, that don't make no sense. But it hit me like a bullet in the chest. I truly felt it. I truly understood it. And, even though I didn't say anything to him at the time, but he was sharing with me that I had been living my life without love. I just been living. So everything that he had said came proof about 20 years later when I got out of prison, and I'm with my mentor, Darren Bo Taylor, and he's bringing me around people, Harry Belafonte, James Ingram, all these people, and he's putting life into me to where now I'm giving back with him and Jim Brown, the American program, and we're giving people hope who were hopeless. We're giving people help who were helpless, and I realized that these people don't need me to save them. They just need to know that they can love life the same way I learned to live life and love life. So now I have an organization, Second Call, and I am the executive director, and I have upwards of 70 employees and a number of different volunteers. And we go from LaGrange, Georgia to Azusa to Pasadena, Long Beach, and South LA and the Baldwin Hills area. And I now believe in myself, and I can help others believe in them. I advocate for those who often don't have someone advocating for them. just like this guy in prison advocated to save my life. This is my second chance at loving life, and welcome to this.
Okay, he's waiting on his theme song, y'all. Give it up for Skipp. Woo! Nice work, nice work. Thank you for that. All right. Oh, my goodness. All right, we're just going to keep moving it. Hey, my next storyteller. You're going to want to hear about this story, y'all. Don't move from your seats. The next storyteller, come on up, is Christa. Christa is the author. Hold up, stay right there. She's the author of the book Illegitimate, a powerful and moving memoir about growing up in the life-altering secret that she is a biracial, I'm not going to tell you, daughter. Her story takes the reader on a journey from a secret shame to a profound realization that she has always been a sacred daughter, valued, worthy, and beloved. Christa's journeys reveal the resilience of the human spirit and healing that she found in one's identity. She is not an accident or a mistake, but she is something inherently sacred and purposeful. Won't you welcome in the sweet spot, Christa Armstead.
You'll never know how much I really love you. You'll never know how much I really care. Listen, do you want to know a secret? Do you promise not to tell? Whoa, whoa, closer.
Shh. Shh. I've got a secret. You see, loose lips sink ships. What happens in this family better stay in this family. Don't be putting our business out there in the streets. All of us probably have some family secrets in this room, but if the walls would talk in my family, oh, they tell you some stuff that make your jaw drop and maybe even the hair on the back of your neck stand up. For as long as I can remember, I mean a little girl, when I was a little girl, far back as I can remember, there was a question that always stayed in my mind. Sometimes I asked it out loud and sometimes I didn't. Where's my daddy? Why doesn't my daddy ever come to pick me up, take me out for ice cream, or take me to the park? You see, my sister cousins, Lisa and Nikki, they didn't live with their, no wait, I gotta back up. I call them sister cousins because we were more like sisters than we were cousins, but we're actually cousins. Anybody out there have some sister cousins? So my sister cousins, Lisa and Nikki, they didn't live with their dads during the week either, but on the weekends, on the holidays, at Christmas, at Easter, even one time Halloween, my cousins' dads would come to pick them up. Now I remember when Uncle Mark, I call him Uncle Mark, it's Nikki's dad, but I call him Uncle Mark. I remember when Uncle Mark would come to pick up Nikki, and I would ask if I could go too. And he would say yes sometime. I'd hop myself up in that car just like I was one of his own. I loved it when Uncle Mark would take us to visit his parents. I pretended that his parents, his mom and dad, were my surrogate grandparents. Even his Aunt Sandy, I remember his sister Sandy, she worked at a beauty shop, y'all, and she gave me my very first haircut. I had that little bob and I thought I was cute. If you met Uncle Mark, or Uncle Mark reminds me of Uncle Phil, you know, from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, how Will came to live with him and he just made him one of his own. Uncle Mark was present and he was protective and he was supportive. And Uncle Mark didn't live in a mansion in Bel-Air. He lived in a home in Inglewood, not too far from this theater. Uncle Mark is still present, still supporting. Uncle Mark is here tonight, so I just want to give you a shout out, Uncle Mark. Thank you. Sometimes people don't know the impact that they have in our lives, but Uncle Mark was like a father figure, and he never made me feel different. So I just want to give him a shout out. Young, gifted, and black. My mama was all of those things. My mother was the oldest of 4 children. They grew up in a middle-class family in Pacoima, California, and I think my grandmother Elizabeth knew that she was bright, maybe since she was born. But my mama was special. While the rest of her siblings were going to a public school, my mama had this great opportunity, because she was smart, to go to a private school back in the 60s. One time I remember finding this picture of Mama, and she was the only black contestant in this beauty pageant in the 60s. That was something. Young, gifted, and black. My mom was 14 years old when she met my daddy. She said my daddy was always easy to talk to. He made her feel good about herself, made her feel pretty, and he even believed in her dreams. He said, I believe in you. You can go to Stanford University one day. Me, a young black woman, going to Stanford? My mama said she fell head over heels in love with my daddy. She just knew that one day they would get married and they would live happily ever after. September 1st, 1967, the nun at the Mercy League home wakes up her young mother. She said, shh, it's time. It's time. Let's go. She hurried her. She put her in the car. And as she was going to the car, I imagined in my mind that the hit song by the Supremes, Love is Here. And oh, my darling, now you're gone. Now you're gone. She entered that maternity ward as the nun drove off, all by herself, admitted to cyanide. She woke up 14 hours later, searching for proof of life. Have they given my baby up for adoption already? Just then, one of the nurses rolled a baby in. She picked her up, unbundled her. Oh, you look like your father. You've got red hair. She counted 10 fingers and 10 toes. Now the gossip had already started amongst the nurses. This baby could clearly pass for white. Is this baby's father white? But my mama would keep her secret. You see, my mama knew what only she knew, which was that a year before that, a 35-year-old priest at her high school had been longing for her and took interest in her and was supporting her since she was 14 years old. One day he decided that he would abandon everything he knew to be right. He would abandon his call to the church of obedience as a priest, and he would abandon his vow to celibacy. And he would finally come. He borrowed the church's station wagon to meet up with his young protege, my mother. He had his way with her. Afterwards, he said, tell no one. Tell no one. This will be our secret. And that's how Mama ended up at the home for unwed mothers. Fast forward, by the time I was in junior high school, the walls did talk in my family. And I found out what the secret was that my whole family knew that my mother had been carrying. You see, it wasn't a what, it was a who. I was that secret shame. I am the illegitimate daughter of a Catholic priest. That secret shook me to my core. Illegitimate, illicit, forbidden, unholy. But most of all, the thing that really hurt me was rejected. I had been rejected and abandoned. By the time I was in middle school, I was completely suicidal. Nobody knew it. It was a secret, another secret that I would keep. I had stashed some pills because I had seen on television that if you took aspirin, you might wake up. And then I would think that they would label me as crazy. And so I said, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. You see, all that time I had so longed for a father's love, his acceptance, to tell me he loved me and that I was valuable. I didn't have a father and I didn't have a mother. You see, my mom never recovered from being abandoned by my father. She couldn't love me because she couldn't love herself. One night, she would have what I would call dark spells. And on one occasion, when she was having a dark spell, she said some words that reverberated through my soul, words I know she longed to take back, but she couldn't. She said the words, "I wish you were never born." That night, I decided I've had enough. If I'm never gonna be loved, if I'm never gonna be accepted, then I don't wanna be in this world. I grabbed the pills. I grabbed a big cup of water from the kitchen. I put the pills in, I drank that water, and I lied down on the couch to go to sleep, to wake up never again. That night, I had a Kairos moment. My divine Father, my heavenly Father, reached down into time and said, "No, my daughter, that's not my plan for you." And he spared my life. Fast forward, 1986, it was the 80s, I decided that I was gonna move to the city of Sacramento. The city of sacrament. A sacrament means a divine impartation. I was trying to leave everything behind in Los Angeles and forget all the bad memories of Los Angeles. And I moved to Sacramento and went to Sac State, and in walks into my life this tall, handsome, funny basketball player. Oh, he had me. We fell in love and we moved in together. I mean, we were just living it up. We were just living it up. We were young and in love. And I remember one day, one of our neighbors came up. He was from Texas. His name was James, and he had this southern drawl that kind of would just draw you in. He said, "Y'all should come to my church sometimes." He said, "My wife, she's a songbird." And he said, "Oh, her sweet potato pie is divine, but it also make you slap your mama." Well, he didn't know it, but he had me at songbird. You see, from the time I was little, another thing that was always prevalent in my life is I love to sing. I love to sing music. A few weeks later, we got in the car and we visited this little small church in Sacramento. And I remember Gladys sang, and that was sweet and beautiful. But I remember at the end of the service, the pastor walked up and he mentioned, "God loves you. The Father loves you. Would you come down and would you let me pray for you?" Something happened to me that day that I will never forget. The Father put his, it's like God walked into that room and put his arms around me. He said, "I love you. I accept you. You are valuable." And I remember hearing these words. It says, "You're not hidden. Darkness cannot even hide me from you. I saw you when you were being formed in your mother's womb. When you were being made in the secret place, I saw you. You are fearfully and wonderfully made." He said, "If you could count the thoughts that I think towards you, the precious thoughts that I think towards you, you wouldn't even be able to count them, because they are more than the grains of sand." You see, that day, my life changed. Today, I no longer live, 38 years later, I no longer live as a secret shame, but I live, as Angelique said, as a beloved, sacred daughter. And I just want to say to you, whoever you are in this theater, I don't care who walked out on you. I don't care who labeled you. I don't care who rejected you. I don't care who said you weren't worth anything. You didn't have any value. I'm here tonight to tell you that God says you are valuable. You are fearfully and wonderfully made.
that is Christa Armstead, the author of Illegitimate. And please get her book in the lobby. Thank you, Christa. Obviously, she has a lot more to tell about that story. Christa was not only on, she and her mother actually went to the Donahue show, if you can imagine, because they challenged the Catholic Church, and it's quite a story. I'm not going to tell it to you because it's in the lobby. But she was on my show, Living in the Sweet Spot, and we talked a little bit more about it, but it's really an amazing story. And I keep thinking about this little redhead girl who thought, you know, that her dad like had a red cardinal hat and a staff, and all the little bunny rabbits are running around him, and you know, she just had this view of what this Father Chris was like. Anyway, you should get the book. It's amazing. One more time for Christa Armstead. Story. Everybody's got a story. You got your bookmark. The sweet spot is a place. It's a knowing. And everybody's got a story. What's your story? What's your story? I hope that this is inspiring you to not only think about your story, but to write your story, to sing your story, to tell your story. So many times we have these incredible stories and we're ashamed of them, or we think that these trauma-informed experiences should not be told. But there's a term, and it's called fati amor. And it is not just love the things that are good or those things that are easy. It's about loving those experiences that are painful, that teach us about the journey. Thank you for that, Elisa. Elisa shared that, my girlfriend from New York, my best friend, my road dog, my sister from the other mother. It's about the journey, right? So that was quite a journey, Christa. Thank you for sharing it. Yeah. So speaking of the journey, my next storyteller is Dr. C. Love. Dr. C. Love is a gifted author, speaker, life coach, and educator, more than 20 years of a professional motivator. She's an educator, 21 years of study in the field of spiritual psychology and 27 years as a social service worker. Dr. C. Love learned to live beyond grief herself. Let me just say a little something about Dr. C. Love. She, you know, again, had a little challenge with this particular show. Because this show is unlike Sweet Spot 1. Sweet Spot 1, I had 10 storytellers. 4 of those 10 storytellers, they were funny stories, right? So I said, but the show was like 3 hours long. And thank you for my story, my record, and my timekeeper. I heard that noise a few minutes ago. I was like, what is that? Dwayne Cox 2.0 was keeping time. He was like, y'all done gone over your time. The Sandman's not coming out, but storytellers, when you hit 10 minutes, you're going to hear a timer, okay? Dwayne, make that 12 on the timer just in case. I told them 10 minutes, but if you hit 12, then they could, you know, then they can be penalized. And this time around, the stories are a little bit more filled with little more difficulty. We don't really have funny stories, but as a result of that, stick around because comedian Scruncho is going to end the show. So we're going to have some laughs by the end. So I'm going to set you up. I'm setting you up with some real thought-provoking, provocative stories. But we're going to end this evening with some funny, matter of fact, some real thought-provoking, but some funny things to think about. But this particular storyteller coming up, she's had some trauma-informed background, but when we started talking about her life and the fact that she's been an educator for so long, I said, just talk about your everyday life as a school teacher. That alone is full of trauma, joy, laughter. So come on up to the stage, Dr. C. Love. That's gotta be funny.
That's good. Welcome to room 226. I'm Dr. C. Love. 1,080 days. That's how many days I have left to let's make children think they can get everything in life for free. 1,080 days to freedom. And that's a lot less than I've already worked. Something like 4,500 instructional days, give or take some unavoidable situations. Birth of my son, surgeries, professional development, meetings, conferences, back to school night, teacher evaluations, and the pandemic. But I've been there for my students. I've been there for families, for the hood, for the state of California, for the United States of America, and basically planet Earth. And I've got students serving in the military all over the world if you think I'm being too dramatic. But I call myself a veteran too. Absolutely, I have earned the right to label myself a veteran and nearly at times a prisoner of war. I know some people don't like that, but hear me out. I went through boot camp my first year when I had to have the physical stamina to keep every student engaged all day, every day, and the mental fortitude to figure out what I was doing every night. And the soul-to-earth grit to survive on limited resources. And when I say limited resources, I mean like sleep and money and living with the very bare necessities for survival. Because in my barracks, ain't many men gonna stick around while I'm putting children first. And I've got battle scars to prove my service. And some days I have to laugh, because if I don't laugh, I might start to cry and I might never stop. And what kind of soldier would that make? So let me tell you what's not funny: my money. Real talk. No other profession would exist without teachers, and never was so much owed by so many to so few. I thought about some lessons that if I could put it up on the blackboard, I would teach all of you today. You know what? Go ahead and get out some pen and paper. I'll wait. By the way, you're gonna be tested on this next week. These are the lessons this teacher has learned. Hold up. No cheating in the back row. I see you. Keep your eyes on your own paper. Number one, Jose Naroski said, in war, there are no unwounded soldiers. Hello, you can't put students first while making teachers last, earning too much and not enough at the same time. I mean, get it? I mean, and that's why I really need my discount, because we can't discount the sacrifices that teachers make, especially those of us who don't have a spouse to help pay the bills. I mean, I'm defying limits every first of the month. Number two, I'm serving my country with style. Look at my hair. It used to be brown for real, but now I trust Revlon color silk to protect my youth, to defend and conquer. 25 years in education. Just last week, I saw my first gray hair in my eyebrow. My eyebrow. Now I gotta find camouflage for that. I am a veteran. Number three, for sure I've been serving on the front lines, unleashing my warrior spirit, taking all kind of hits from friendly fire, getting suspended for telling students to forge your legacy. Oh, but hold up, to do it in here, you gonna respect my classroom. And oh yes, Thank you, parents, for sending your babies to school with cell phones. Hell, you know good and well that you can't get them off the phone at home. Thank you so much for your unwavering support. True story. When I asked a student politely to get off his cell phone, this student told me to get off his manhood. Not that was the word he used. He actually made an all-out enemy attack, which included parts of his anatomy that rhymed with lick, stick, and trick. I mean, he went in on me. Then the same student came back the next day without so much as an apology, and in his feelings, I was supposed to act like it never happened because each day is a new day. I wish that would work with my bill collectors. Let the past be the past. But then I'd be out on my, oh, wait, I can't say that. We in class. Number 4, I have always believed in power of unity and I've strived to break barriers. That's why right out of college, I started working with the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority, helped open a first no-cost year-round drop-in access center in South Los Angeles, and simultaneously ran homeless shelters in Inglewood and Long Beach armories during the winter months. But I was just a 20-something-year-old new kid on the politic block where everybody was trying to get their cut, get that money, while the people in need were getting ghosted. I came to the conclusion I'm a prosperity promoter, not a poverty pimp. You can't break the cycle of homelessness from the streets, so why don't I just go be the difference? Hey, Johnny, wake up. Did you hear what I just said? And Susan, stop talking. Are you writing this down? Number 5, a hero is defined by someone who has given his or her life to something bigger than oneself. And there I was in an underfunded classroom, getting underpaid and trying to save the unhoused one child at a time. Number 6, Head Start. I started as a special education teacher. It was the fastest way to get in because nobody wanted to do that job. Hey, they said it was like a babysitting gig, but I still learned a lot. And my mentor told me not to stay too long. I asked her why. She said, because you start acting like them. Wow, I'm still not sure what that meant. Number 7, teachers were left stranded alone on the battlefield. And working at a high school in 2024 means taking shallow breaths. Otherwise, you might get high. I mean, like a contact high at work. So just in case, I keep cologne and perfume in my tool belt, because nobody's calling parents anymore unless they're asking for a good dispensary recommendation. Because they might have just got it from their parents. Number 8, Mission Impossible. Don't touch the bathroom pass, especially since COVID. Ugh. I don't know if they've washed their hands. Number 9, homework detail. If a child tells you their dog ate their homework, believe them, because it's more important to affirm their feelings than to remind them that they told you they were allergic to cats and dogs. Number 10, no running in the hallway. It's hard to chase students when you're the one actually running from administration and running from new policies that make the teacher's job nearly impossible. And no profanity or foul language in front of me, because everyone's cursing at this point. I suggest you watch what you say to me. Tone down the disrespect, because remember, this is your official warning shot. I only got 1,080 days to the door. Yes, I'm a veteran. I want to make America great too. When I first started teaching, the Pledge of Allegiance was still mandatory. And as I used to watch the bewildered, less enthusiastic stares at the wall and ceiling anywhere but the American flag in the corner, I wondered if they even knew what it meant. I mean, you probably shouldn't pledge to a flag before you pledge to yourself, should you? Yes, I'm a veteran. So in 2000, I wrote the Pledge of Success. Everybody put your hands over your heart. I pledge allegiance to my success. Go ahead, let's take that back. Repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to my success. To be the best person I can be. I see the wonderful soul present within me. When I look at the friends I choose, I see a reflection of me. Together we achieve. Together we reach victory. I pass every test. I'm the best of the best. I create my success. I am success. Look at somebody, say, yes, we are. And even though that, give yourselves a round of applause on that. And even though this pledge was adopted by a school board member and the most important contribution I believe I've ever really made in schools, I don't do it anymore because some kids got together to protest, still mad about their cell phones. And they fit perfectly into the admin agenda to make sure every teacher surrenders. I opted for a 5-day unpaid suspension. Yes, more friendly fire. But I still tell them, study, 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 like the pledge says. I pass every test. And with little support and minimal resources, and most of my hope stripped away, I wondered, how can I make sure that my students know that I love them, that I'm different than the rest? I said to them, if I can't teach you to reach, then I don't know what you're supposed to learn. But let me introduce myself. I'm an educator, liberator, moderator, terminator, elevator, contemplator, meditator, motivator. And I need to speak with you. Ready or not, the future's coming at you. So you can get with this or you can get with that. But being broke ain't no joke. From crack to smoke. Looking like a dope, say you feeling kind of ill. When you can't pay your bills, life just ain't a thrill. Your mama's hopes you spill. Your dreams are nil. Like Cruella DeVille, you run around in a mill looking for a pill to kill. When you can learn to heal, forgive to feel, love the appeal. With more to reveal. I'm an educator, liberator, educator, liberator, educator, liberator, and I'm love. Welcome to class. Simplify.
Why they call her Dr. C. Love. Dr. C. Love is in the house. Woo, girl, you got 1,080 days left, huh? And then you will be tested next week. Well, without any further ado, one more before we take a break. Deatra Handy. I call her D. She's holding a master's in public administration and a bachelor's in sociology from Cal State University of Long Beach. She's an accomplished leader in the nonprofit management. She directs the Restoration Human Trafficking Diversion. Whew. You know, D is a superhero. I don't even know what else to say. She's going to tell you a little bit more about her. You can read about her. I don't even want to tell you anymore. You're going to see it. You have to kind of see it to believe it. Just check her out. This is D.
There's too many of you crying. Brother, brother, brother.
Anybody want a date?
Of you dying. You know we've got to find a way to bring some love.
These shoes is killing my feet. Y'all gotta take a minute. I've been walking 7 hours. I'm tired. Take these shoes off. Excuse me, y'all. And now, all right. See how high they were? So, you know, I would just really just like to sit down somewhere. Just sit down anywhere. If I sat down 5 minutes, I'd probably be asleep. But that's life. That's my life.
I'm so hungry, but I have this quota to make. Then I can go inside for a few hours. I am so tired.
You know, I had to jump out a window. And my legs all bloody. Y'all got some peroxide? I don't care how much it's gonna burn, I just don't wanna get no infection. I got an infection before. Yeah, I had to jump out a window. But you know what? What's the use of having a pimp if the nigga don't care about you? I call him, and he on the other side of town with some hoe. What's the use of having a pimp? You know, I had to jump out of the car last week. I get in the car, and I see ain't no handle on the door. This time the car was moving. You know, I can't tell you how many times I've had to jump out of a moving car.
I see you looking at my legs. My daddy beat me because I bought in $750. Do you know what I could do with $750? But he called me a bum bitch and proceeded to beat me with a belt. Now my legs are all scarred. I know it looks like burns, but he only used a belt. I hope these marks go away.
Nobody cares about me. The community hates me. And I get it. The kids. You know, I offend the kids. I know I shouldn't be walking around the kids looking like this. I got kids of my own. I ain't got no choice. You know, folks wouldn't beat a dog the way they beat me. My pimp beats me. The Johns beat me. Guess what? I don't even matter.
Every time I get in a car, I understand that there's an outcome. I may not ever be seen again. I could be raped, robbed, or once I was beat with a crowbar by this sadistic trick.
You know, I got in a car with this John, and he pulled a gun on me. And I started crying, and I was begging, and I was like, please, 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 please. Take my car, take my phone, take my money, take anything. Just don't let you kill me. Let me live, please. Please let me out. Let me go. He didn't let me go, but at least he didn't kill me.
Thank you for the McDonald's gift card, but they won't let me in to buy food.
Yeah, miss, I'm gonna tell you my story, miss. When I was 3 years old, my mom caught my dad molesting me. And she called the police, and they came and got him. And they took him away for 2 years. And then when he got out, he found us. And he climbed through my window, and he kidnapped me. and he put me in a closet for 5 years, and he raped me for 5 years until they rescued me. And now they say I'm mentally challenged. They say I got schizophrenia. They say that like I hear voices, but I do hear voices because it was those voices that helped me in that closet. It was those voices that helped me survive. But sometimes the voices be saying some crazy stuff. But you know what? I'm surviving. I'm here on this street, but I'm still surviving.
Can you help me? Can you help me? Can you help me? Can you help me? Can you help me?
My name is Deatra Handy, and I am the co-founder and the director of the Restoration Diversion Services Program. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit about my life, okay? I'm gonna let you go through a day in my life. But first I wanna say that every story that you heard tonight, just now, were true stories, true experiences, from their lips to my ears, and I hear these stories all the time. These are real girls talking about their real experiences. So anyway, let me tell you about my life. So I get up in the morning about 5 o'clock, I get to the gym, do a little stair climbing, do a little elliptical, do a little weight training. Then I get back in my car, take my red Lexus, get me a Red Bull, put on my red lipstick, and then I get in my car and I drive to this plush office where my car has my own personal parking space. My staff meet me at the door with a latte. Yeah. Nah. I drive to Long Beach Boulevard on the Blade. So the Blade, or the track, is where the girls walk back and forth and back and forth. They walk back and forth and back and forth because it's supply and demand. So the supply is this little strip of land on Long Beach Boulevard where my car is parked in the front. You'll see it parked there. And the girls walk back and forth. We got a picture window, so we don't have to go out and get them. We don't have to go out and do like outreach, because they walking back and forth every day. So Keela, who is a superstar, she'll run out and I'll be like, Keela, and she'll run out and she'll get the girls and bring them in. I don't know what she say to them girls to bring them girls in, but she get them in. And then when they come in, we offer them love, we offer them support, we offer them all of the basic necessities. You know, the hierarchy of needs, the basic success, like condoms. That's a basic necessity because we got to keep them alive until we can free them. We offer them showers. We offer them clothes. We offer them snacks, water, anything we think they need. They even love coloring books because they're kids. They like to color, so we have coloring books for them. Oh, wait. There's a girl. Let me go get her. Look, Keela, go get her. Hey, bring her in. Hi, sweetheart. Welcome to RDS, and we're here for you. We want you to know that you are not in this world alone. We want you to know that there's people in this world that care about you. We want you to know that we can help you. We want you to know that you are loved. You, baby, hey, you okay?
No, I'm not. I'm not okay.
Okay, talk to me. What's wrong?
I was working on Figueroa but my pimp dropped me off on this street. He took all my stuff. I'm so lost. My battery's dead. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I'm lost.
Okay, honey, calm down. It's okay, baby. We got you. We got you. So, where are you from?
I'm from Vegas.
From Vegas.
I don't even know where I am. I just want to go.
It's okay, sweetie. So let me tell you where you are. You're in the city of Compton, and that low-down dog dropped you off on the Blade. And he dropped you off because he knew the pimps was out here and the Johns was out here to kidnap you. So the last thing you want to do is go back to him, because this dude tried to kill you because he know you don't know where you are. But we know where you are, and we found you. And now you safe. You ain't got to worry about nothing. We got you. You okay, baby?
He'll never let me out. I just want to go. I want to go home.
You want to go home? You want to go back to Vegas?
I need out.
You want to go?
I want out. I want to go.
You mean you want to get out of the life?
Yes.
And your family isn't? Baby, you ain't said nothing but a word. So your family is in Vegas?
Yes.
Okay, and I know they're looking for you, and I know they're worried. So this is what we're about to do. Hey, I need Lawrence, I need you to get on the phone, and I need you to call a motel. We finna put you in a motel for the night. So I need you to get on the phone and make that call. And then we have a relationship with an organization called Angel Flight. And Angel Flight has private planes. They used to only help medical survivors, but now they help human trafficking victims. So we're gonna call and we're gonna get you out of here, okay? So right now, I want you to go, and I want you to take a shower, get you some clothes. We getting ready to put you up in a motel. You got to get out them clothes. You can't go to the motel. By the way, I need your name before I can get you in the motel. What's your name, sweetie?
Sugar.
Sugar? Sugar, baby. I need your government name. What's your government name?
Chantel.
Chantel. Okay, Chantel. So you go back there and you get you some snacks. There's pizzas in the freezer. You take a shower. You get you some of those clothes, some of the Forever 21 outfits. You know the girls call those clothes respectable clothes because their pimps won't let them get regular clothes because it's a way of controlling them because they can't get on a bus in those clothes and they can't. So they come in and they be so excited. One girl brought a whole suitcase and came back got clothes. So baby, go put your clothes, go get you some clothes, and we got you, okay? I'm finna call Angel Flight, and we finna get you out of here, okay? All right.
Hello, Angel Flight.
You ain't gotta never worry about that man again. Your nightmare is over.
It's a matter of life.
I faced life-threatening situations that haunt me to this day. One of my clients pulled a gun on me and threatened to kill me if I didn't comply with his demands. On another occasion, a client I met online kidnapped me for 5 hours. He told me his plan was to sell me to his highest bidder. It's scary out here. It's the unknown. It's all the uncertainty every day. The fears that come with this life, they're overwhelming. I never ever knew what was going to happen next, or if I would make it through the day, make it through the hour, alive. The RDS Drop-In Center on Long Beach Boulevard in Compton is really a lifeline for people like me. People are just trying to survive first, and then to escape, the need to escape the life. Long Beach Boulevard is known as the Blade for a reason. It's the human trafficking track. It's still hard for me to say it. The strategic location of the drop-in center is right there, right in the middle of the track. And it provides a safe haven for us, the survivors. When I visit the center, I'm welcomed with dignity and compassion. The staff, they let me rest. They let me use the restroom and take a shower and get a cold water or a hot drink. They even give me snacks. It sounds simple, but it was everything. Their simple support helped me to regain some sense of normalcy. They made me feel human during the worst time of my life. I've been out of the life now for about 6 weeks. I want a better future for myself and for my children, and I hope a better life is possible. And with the help of RDS, I'm definitely working toward that goal.
Glory to God. You know, people ask me, how do I do this every day? And I tell them, when I was 5 years old, I knew this was what I wanted to do. I'd be on the playground with my kindergarten friends saying, I want to help the human trafficking victims one day. Nah, that's not what happened. Nah, I didn't choose this. This chose me. I was called to do this. I was called for such a time as this. And you know what? I'm living in the sweet spot because every single day I get to make a difference. I get to help a girl that when she was 3 years old, society didn't save her. But now we get another chance to help her and to save her. And that's definitely living in a sweet spot. You know, that intersection between divine timing, that intersection between performance, that intersection between power, and it's all for a purpose, God's purpose, that's the sweet spot. That's the sweet spot. So I want to say this. I'm going to leave with this. One of the scriptures that remind me of the girls and what I do is Matthew chapter 9, verse 35. When Jesus was out and he was out preaching, he was out teaching, he was in the synagogues, he was on the boat in the ocean, he was in the mountains, and he was teaching the gospel of the good news. And then one day he looked at them because the crowds and the multitudes had gathered, but they were tired and they were weary. And then Jesus looked at his disciples and said, the harvest is truly plenteous, but the laborers are few. Pray the Lord of the harvest to send forth laborers to his harvest. Come on, y'all, let's go.
That quote in the sweet spot motto. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, none of this could be possible without the community, right? So I want to, before we go into our intermission, and we only got 3 more storytellers, and I hate to tell you, it's almost over, but you got to stick around because we got 3 more storytellers. We got 2, and we got Scruncho, but I could not have done this without some of my biggest supporters. Thank you all for being here. I do not take any of your presence lightly, but thank you for community build. Thank you for being in the house. I appreciate your support. Thank you for all my friends. Thank you for Ray Parker Jr. bought a ton of tickets so that all of you could be here. Thank you so much, Ray. Thank you for everybody who has been here and been supportive. Take 10 minutes, buy the book in the lobby, and take a minute. I'll see you in a few. We got a lot to talk about. All right, come on back.
which way you choose. Oh, let love lead the way. That's the best you can do. Deep within the darkness, you will find something new. Just wait till the morning. I know it's been so dark for you. Hey, watch the sun. Shine for you. It's true. I do believe it. Sunshine, beautiful sunshine, a beautiful sunshine, beautiful sunshine, shine. Sunshine, beautiful sunshine, a beautiful sunshine, beautiful sunshine. I know it does sometimes. The poverty and crap, we're watching our sunshine and the mountains cry. Still, judge a blessing always on time. If you see trouble, then we must find. Just wait till the morning. I know it's been so for you. Watch the sun come shining. Do you believe me? It was summer of '06. Wrote your number on my wrist. Called you inside of my car. Stomach full of bricks. And I asked if we could kiss. And you said don't play with my heart. But what happens when it burns out? Even when it works out. For better or for worse. Now everything's nice when it's new. Now you don't feel like I do. When you say you left it, I know it's not true. I guess I'm stuck with just the memory of you. Was a California moon at a table set for two. We promised the thrill wasn't gone.
Nicholas and Natalie.
But it was stupid to assume every flower stays in bloom. But you must know I can't move on. What happens when it burns out? Even when it works out. For better or for worse. Now everything's nice when it's new. Now you don't feel like I do. When you say you left it, I know it's not true. I guess I'm stuck with just the memory of you. I guess I'm stuck with just the memory of you. Everything's nice when it's new. Now you don't feel like I do. When you say you left it, I know it's not true. I guess I'm stuck with just the memory of you. I guess I'm stuck with just the memory of you.
I said, God, are you listening? I need a minute of your time. Why is every day a struggle? I'm just trying to get mine. I've been up and down too. I ain't perfect, ooh, trying to be like you. He said, look, you ain't listening. I thought I told you many times. What goes around comes back around. Stay cool and you'll be fine. Yeah, it's easy, ain't nothing to it. It's so simple, anybody can do it. And if you do good, it'll get good. That's the This is a fun song.
slow it down, get me out my mind the way you do. Got some trouble, gotta get away from. Baby girl, you're my meditation. Let the hours fly by in a great paradise. All of my sitting in traffic. Long as I'm riding with you. Ooh, Friday, Friday magic. We can just cruise off the moon. Sunshine spills out the stereo. This side the world is drenched in gold. My worries in the rear.
Oh, you know what?
And I know that you're the only reason why. It's like I'm chilling in my living room. Guess I just gotta get away from. Baby girl, you're my meditation. Let the hours fly by in a great paradise. Side of my sitting in traffic. Long as I'm riding with you. Ooh, Friday, Friday magic. We can just cruise off the moon. Out of my sitting in traffic. Long as I'm riding with you. Ooh, Friday, Friday magic. Oh, out of my sitting in traffic. We can just cruise off the moon.
So, 3, what you want to be when you grow up?
I don't know, but I'm thinking about a basketball player or a singer. I don't know yet.
Basketball or singer? What about you, Pepe? What you want to be?
A piano player.
A piano player. Well, are you going to be like a big star? Yeah.
I'm going back to all those dreams I once had. Before I let all these things in my head, my 8-year-old self would be so disappointed. 'Cause I started to doubt everything we said. But sometimes life gets hard. You just don't know. You can still do all those things you dreamed of before. You don't need to go. That's the beginning of it. Beginning of the year. You just need to believe like a kid again. Like a kid again. Kid again. You just need to believe like a kid again. Sometimes I wish I didn't know. I used to believe in the impossible, but at some point I started to trust in only what I see. When honestly my faith is really all I need. But sometimes life gets hard. You just don't know. You can still do all those things you dreamed before. choose, and we'll go and use them blues. 'Cause I ain't got nothing but time.
All right, let's get going. Everybody have a seat. Everybody back in your seat. Let's have a seat. Let's get going. All right. I would love to introduce you to a few people while we're here. Some people that, one, just mean a lot to me. A lot of people mean a lot to me. Everybody here means a lot to me. But first I want to just tell one of my colleagues and friends, one of the first people that I met when I moved back to Los Angeles. Most of you know that I was raised here in Los Angeles, but I've been a New Yorker for the last 30 years, so I feel like I'm both coast kind of people, but I sort of was in New York a little longer than I was in LA. But when I came back, I met Areva Martin. Is Areva Martin over there in the corner somewhere? What's happening, Areva? So I have to acknowledge Areva Martin because she took me under her wing and she runs Special Needs Network and she does such an amazing job here in this community and around this country. And I just have to say, let's give it up for Areva because she went around this country. And not only does she do tireless work, but she went around this country in a 7-city tour in the battleground states, and she just tried to make sure people were getting out to vote, to do the right thing, not just as a civil rights attorney, but just as an American, and just tried to get it going. And she took me with her on 2 states, and I appreciate you doing the work that everybody does not want to do. Everybody talks about it, but you be about it. You be about it, girl. And thank you for doing what you do. Here's to Areva Martin. Thank you. So, without further ado, I want to introduce some of my colleagues over at KBLA. This is Tasha, Teal, and Earl from Lyric Lounge. Come on up. Come on up, y'all. Well, I could go on and on, but we won't. We're going to keep it short and sweet. You tell us this. You know, they follow me on Saturdays. My show's at 3 o'clock on Saturdays, Living in the Sweet Spot. And I'm always want to stay around, but they ain't never invited me to stay on their show. They like, lot of love to our girl, Angelique. That's what they always say. And I know they love me, and they know I love them. But y'all ain't never asked me what I think about the lyrics on Lyric Lounge.
You are cordially invited.
Okay. So y'all heard it here. I'm going to officially join the Lyric Lounge. Because I think, you get a little outnumbered. Sometimes you get a little outnumbered. So tell them quickly what you guys do.
So it's the Lyric Lounge with Tasha, Teal, and Earl, and we dissect song lyrics every week. So if you think you know what a song means, sometimes we'll prove you wrong, sometimes we'll prove you right, but we just dig deep into the meanings and nuances, and I get a lot of inspiration from these 2 gentlemen who introduced me to help me get out of my old school R&B wheelhouse. So I get to learn new music from them, and it's been 3 years going strong, and we appreciate Tavis and everybody, and you always giving us love, always gives us love after your show. We appreciate it, and yes, you are evergreenly invited.
I love it. And then you guys, they are listened to all over the world, and I know that you are strongly and passionately partly responsible for that. So talk about some of the places that are listening, and you have new fans from everywhere.
Let me see if I remember. Barbados, Russia, Mexico, Africa, a lot of places in Congo. I can't remember all those places, but yes.
Mars and Jupiter.
The universe, yes.
All right, so, and what else? And this is the young blood. And so he's always
Brother Earl.
a new, fresh, and exciting vibe to the Lyric Lounge. And he's always teaching us, what the young folks are listening to, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's more than young folks. It's also, I try to get a little international as well. I just want to elevate the culture and elevate what not only what we listen to in America, but what black culture is outside of America as well, because we are everywhere. So I try to open up the eyes of both young and old as well.
All right, so you guys check out the Lyric Lounge on Sundays, and I think it also repeats on Saturday nights, or some at 11 o'clock on what night? On Saturday nights as well. All right, Lyric Lounge on 4 o'clock on Sunday. And while we're here, let's take a break and let's bring up Dr. Sunshine. Dr. Sunshine, come on up. You know, I wanted to take the opportunity for you to meet some of the KBLA hosts because you always hear these amazing voices and concepts. And so you heard Zoe Williams, and now this is Dr. Sunshine. Welcome.
Hey, thank you.
Tell us about your show real quick and, you know, what you do and what's your flavor.
Okay, my flavor, I like that. So I am Dr. Sunshine, host of the Dr. Sunshine Show. My show airs on Sunday mornings from 8 to 9 a.m. I am a licensed psychologist, and my goal on the show is to eradicate the stigma that is attached to mental health by helping people find their peace and normalizing the fact that everyday life brings us mental health issues, depression, anxiety, it's all in there. And I just want to add, I have a book coming out, Angelique, on Black Friday. It's called Employ Your Pain, Putting the Hurt to Work for You. So if there is anything disrupting your peace, pain, if there's pain disrupting your peace, then find your way to transform pain into purpose and power.
I love it. I love it. Well, that's another book that I'm going to be on my list to get. Thank you so much. I love it. I love it. Thank you, sweetheart, for being here. And then I would be remiss because, I wanted to be a sportscaster when I was a kid. I just want you to know I was like a little tomboy athlete. I know it's hard for y'all to believe, but, you could hoop out there. I wasn't too bad, Right, Marla Brown? Where's Marla Brown? So I had a little, not a bad little outside, jump shot. So, without further ado, I want to bring up Ray Richardson because he is a former sports writer from newspapers in Chicago, Phoenix, and Minneapolis, St. Paul. He's heard 24 times a day on KBLA, Talk 1580 with KBLA Sports Minute. Come on up. Where are you at? Where you at? Ray Richardson. What's up, my brother? I love it. I love it. He is the voice. Welcome to the Sweet Spot.
Thank you for having me. I didn't know you were a baller back in the day. I learned something today. By the way, give this lady a big round of applause. This is a fantastic production. I was not expecting all of this, I'll be honest. This is fabulous. You do a wonderful job. By the way, I'm the sports guy. How many sports fans out there? All right. I'm the guy you hear 24 times a day with the KBLA Sports Minute. I try my best to keep you up on the Lakers, the Clippers, the Rams, the Chargers, but I also give you a little bit of that black flavor too. The stuff you don't hear on the mainstream channels, we try to give it to you on KBLA. And by the way, give a quick shout out to LeBron James because he had a marvelous week this week. 4 straight triple doubles, 4 straight. And we also, on Saturday nights, I do a show called Out of Bounds, 7 to 8 p.m., with my guy Neil Scarborough, 60 minutes of flavor with a black point of view. So I hope you all can check us out. One more round of applause for my girl Angelique. And please get our app. You can download the app on your cell phone and take us wherever you go. KBLA Talk 1580. We always have a lot to talk about.
All right. That's KBLA Talk 1580. Okay, who we got up next? Her bio real quick. All right, we got somebody really special. There's a lot of ways that we can talk about a story. And I thought, let me bring something a little interesting. This next storyteller is not physically present. She's actually a student. And she actually has made quite an impact. She's in the Northeast right now. She's away in school. And I saw this, I know that she dances, and she has, like anyone else, has challenges like the rest of us. And her name is Sydney Humphrey. She's a 19-year-old dancer studying under Teddy Florence at the CLI Conservatory in Northampton, Massachusetts. She's a charismatic, compassionate, and competent artist. Sydney channels life challenges and victories into a creative choreography that inspires others to live out their story with boldness and movement. So I decided to show you and share with you an expression of Sydney. So why don't you check out the screen? You guys all queued up, ready to go? So this is a story choreographed by Sydney. Enjoy.
Armed and dangerous. Ain't too many can bang.
All right, that's Sydney. There's all kinds of ways to tell a story, right? Well, our next guest, our next storyteller, he's a husband, a father of 8, 4 boys, 4 girls. He's the vice president, customer service manager of a financial institution for the last 18 years. He's a worship leader right here in Los Angeles Community Church. He is a songwriter, singer. He's the older brother of Jackie Gouche, Ferris, and the younger brother of Andre Gouche. He is the son. Did I see Betty Gouche over there? Hello, Betty Gouche. He's Betty Gouche's middle child, and his name is Anthony Gouche. Welcome to the show. Enjoy.
So who am I? Google me. And what you'll find is a picture of my brother, Andrew Gouche, the godfather of gospel bass. You continue your search, I'm sure you'll come across my sister's musical library. God rest her soul. I love you, Jackie. And if you continue, you'll find a few other impressive Gouches. There's the moguls, Nick and Nat. The artist, Tiffany Gouche. And a host of others. So who am I? I'm a man after God's own heart. Just like David, King David. You know, King David, the shepherd boy who wrote Psalms 23, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. King David, the one who slayed Goliath with one smooth stone. King David, who became the king of Israel, considered a man after God's own heart. Just like King David, I'm a man after God's own heart. And just like King David, I write songs of praise and worship. And just like King David, I am a man of many mistakes. So my prayer
to God is, show me how. Show me how to live a life of worship. Show me how to let your praises ring inside of me. Show me how to totally surrender. Show me how I humbly bow. 'Cause all I ever wanted was to please you. Since the day you came into my life, but there's a war going on. When I would do right, I do wrong. Yet I believe. So show me how to live a life of worship. Show me how to let your praises ring inside of me. Show me how to totally surrender. I surrender. I surrender. I surrender. Lord, I surrender all to thee, my blessed Savior. I surrender all. And just like David, I pledged fidelity to God at a very early age. But it was my love and my allegiance to my earthly father wherein the problem lies. Ike Gouche. To me, he was like Mufasa. Mufasa! He was so strong, but he was so gentle. He loved his wife, and he loved his children. But when that love wasn't reciprocated, he took flight. You see, my parents got divorced when I was 10 years old. And I remember that day vividly. There was a big fight, a lot of cussing. He packed a bag, came into my room. We embraced, we cried. He hugged me, he kissed me on my forehead. He said he had to go. And then he whispered something in my ear that would change the course of my life. He said, son, you may not understand this, but always keep you a woman on the side. I was 10, and I was infuriated by what he said, because how could you? You're married to my mother. What do you mean? But he spoke out of his pain, and I loved him so much, and I understood his pain. In the time that kings were supposed to be at war, King David was on his rooftop of his luxury condo overlooking the city. And as he was overlooking the city, he saw a beautiful woman. She was taking a shower. Oh, she is fine. He had to have her. She had everything going on. Bing, bang, bow. She had it going on, but she was Uriah's wife. It didn't matter to the king. So he sent for her. He slept with her. And then he called Uriah. He said, come home, be with your wife. Uriah was one of the generals in the army. And the just man that he is, he says, I will not take rest while we are at war. So King David said, well, send him to the front line. And when he gets to the front line, retreat so he can be killed. This is a man after God's own heart. I wonder, did Jesse, his father, have that conversation with him? Did Jesse whisper in his ear and tell him to always keep a woman on the side? Look, now I ain't killed nobody. But when I started dating, no one woman was enough. The words that my father spoke rang out and created so much conflict in my life. I loved Ike Gouche, but he was wrong. And then when I found the woman of my dreams and asked her to marry me, we had some good years. We had some good years. But then the words of my father rang out. And then when she got her wings, my second wife, the words of my father. So what I did what David did. I confessed and faced the reality of my infidelity. And my wife asked me the question.
Wasn't I enough?
Yes.
What is it? What did I do?
It's nothing that you did. It's nothing that you didn't do. You were enough. But it was something that was unresolved in me. The conflict. So I asked the Lord, like David, create in me a clean heart and renew a right spirit within me. Women, don't hold yourself hostage for something that's unresolved in him. It's not your fault. But if he is a man after God's own heart, all he really wants is to do the right thing. All he really wants is you. I just want you, nothing else, nothing else, nothing else will do. I just want you, nothing else, nothing else, nothing else will do. I just want you, I just want you. I just want you, I just want you, just want you. Nothing else will do. Caught up in your presence, I just want to sit here at your feet. Caught up in this holy moment, never wanna leave. I'm not here for blessings. Jesus, you don't owe me anything. more than anything that you can do. I just want you. I just want you. Nothing else, nothing else, nothing else will do. I just want you. 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 Nothing else will do.
Those of you who don't know, that's Jackie Gouche singing. She wrote that song. That's Anthony's sister and our storyteller from last year. Our sister, our friend, Jackie Gouche. And that song was recorded by Bam Crawford Purpose. And Bam Crawford is here, Dr. Pastor Bam Crawford. Ooh, we come from a royal priesthood, y'all. I am proud of us, and that's part of our story, right? That's part of our story. Thank you, Anthony. Very nice. Okay. Well, without further ado, let me tell you about Lisa Woodson. I don't know, you didn't bring anybody with you, huh, Lisa? Lisa was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in you gonna put it, I'm not gonna say all that. And she has a few siblings, like 7. Her family migrated in Portland, Oregon when she attended elementary school. And junior high, graduated from Jefferson High School in December. I'm like, all these dates. Clearly Frank Woodson sent this bio. You're right, I already knew. Frank, I know you're somewhere in here. Frank, I could tell the slant in this bio. Let me just finish reading this bio. No, this is funny. Frank says, and in December of 1985, she met her husband, Frank Woodson, in Portland, Oregon, and she relocated to Houston, Texas, and was married after 3 months of dating. And on April 1st, such and such a year, Lisa attended Prairie View AME for about a year, and then later quit finance to support her husband's college career. And then after, Frank graduated college and worked for Kraft Foods for 5 years. Is this Frank's bio or your bio? And he decided to move, and then he decided to move the family to California to further his career in marketing. And Lisa was then able to transfer to Bank of America and finish out her career of 35 years. Lisa retired after 35 years and has decided to pursue her daughter's dream of being in the fashion industry. Lisa has 2 children. And, and son Brandon Woodson that lived in Houston, Texas, and Lexus Woodson that passed on October 21st. Brandon has 2 sons, Brandon Xavier Woodson, who is 4 years old, and Hassani Xavier Woodson, who just turned 1. The 2 of them are quite the team. I'm just teasing you, Frank. The 2 of them are quite the team. I could not be more excited to welcome Lisa Dance Woodson into the sweet spot.
All right, in 3, 2, 1. Fantastic work. That's right. Give me more attitude. Give me more attitude. That's what I need. Perfect. That's right. Hold the hair. Okay. Oh my gosh, I love it. Whip it back and forth. Now give me a pout. That's right, bratty, rude. Oh my gosh, Alexis, you're killing this.
Wow. That bio, Mr. Woodson, you're gonna get it. Alexis Dominique Woodson. My miracle baby, my apple, my quiet storm. I named Alexis after the 2 most powerful women from the Dynasty TV series, Alexis Carrington and Dominique Devereaux. I just dated myself. She had no choice but to be a force to reckon with. She had no choice but to be larger than life, a force to be reckoned with, a quiet storm. A young Shiro who not yet learned how to control her power. That's it. Let's call her the quiet storm. But first, she arrived as my miracle baby. About 8 years, a family of 3, me, my hero, and my firstborn Brandon. Oh, my hero? That's my husband, the man who God gave me for this life's journey. In that bad bio. Yes. Oh, Lord. I also called Alexis my apple, and I'm the tree. A captivating baby, always dressed in the latest fashion. I often wondered, how can someone so small take control of a room? But that was the power of my quiet storm. From day 1, she went from costume to costume. From baby shoes to mommy's heels to auntie's wigs. It was like she was reaching for something higher. Like a caterpillar, she went through her stages. A cute little baby, a chunky little elementary student. She used to say, "Mom, these vitamins are making me fat." I'm like, "No, baby, they're just keeping you healthy." But then she evolved into this butterfly, stunning, with her own eclectic style, truly before her time. She had a heart of gold, and always drawn to the less fortunate. One time she found a $20 bill on the sidewalk and she knocked on the neighbor's door. Does this belong to you? Her brother didn't think that was a good idea. Oh, Mom, do you have any money for the homeless man on the corner? That was the heart of my quiet storm. But her specialty was taking anything that she can find and turn it into stunning to cutting edge fashion. She'd say, Dad, you have anything in your closet that I can have? Mom, you have anything in your closet I can have? And she'd take all that she can gather and she would make a fly, fashionable outfit. And then she would wear it in a photo shoot. She didn't like shopping at department stores. She loved thrifting. She loved thrifting. But don't get it twisted. That hair, that makeup, and those nails, now that would break the bank. I didn't know how much makeup cost until she started wearing it. But look at her. Fabulousness on steroids. Mysterious, eclectic, and unique. My quiet storm was no mere mortal. She used her powers for good. Oh, Lord. She used her powers for good. Oh, Lord. She used her powers for good. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Just like a comic book. See, that was the hard, thank you, baby. This is the hard part. Just like a comic book superhero, there's kryptonite. Kryptonite that comes to kill, steal, and strip you of your powers. The kryptonite from my quiet storm was being a young, beautiful, Black, creative girl trying to survive, trying to fit in a suburban environment. So different. She's not like us. The weight of her experiences would lead her to anxiety and depression. The concerned mother that I am, I always consistently spoke positivity into her life. I would greet her, "Good morning, sunshine. Are you shining?" "Yes, Mom, I'm shining." And I would always say, "Good job, Mama." On October 21st, 2021, she would lose her battle and be defeated by fentanyl poisoning. Jesus. Although this unbearable loss was so difficult, we saw God's footprints all around us. We needed him at that time. Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus. Me, my hero, and my firstborn, Brandon, we were all together to start on this journey together, but not alone. We were carried by God and supported by a village, a lot of what's here tonight. Lord Jesus. Oh, Jesus. it would take time, and I would have to do the work. I spent time with God. I was in therapy, and I had my newfound love, the gym. Lord, I don't understand this, but I trust you. People couldn't hear my silent screams or hear. They could not hear my quiet screams or see the unbearable pain inside me. Oh, Jesus. It's so heavy, I can't remember this all. Okay. Physically, my quiet storm was gone, but she didn't leave. Her spirit remained present. Mom, I'm good. No more pain. I will show up, Mom, and you will feel me, and you will feel my presence. I ask God to give you my portion, Mom. I have now taken on her powers and the creativity that once was all hers. My quiet storm's first lesson for me was survival. No kryptonite for me. She taught this caterpillar how to become more self-protective, less of a people pleaser, and even fearless as I transform into this new Lisa, an unleashed butterfly. Or if you rub me the wrong way, L-Dub. My quiet storm is now my guardian angel. She was too pure for this world, but capable of teaching me first how to crawl through my grief and to fly towards my purpose engulfed with her spirit. As I approached 2022, it was clear that I was not going to be able to work for Bank of America. That was no place for a butterfly. So in 2022, I went out on leave, and in July 2024, I retired. 100% dedicated to walking in my purpose. I continue to feel the spirit of Alexis on me and with me. My dress style has changed, and sometimes not quite what my hero wants. But he understands I am an unleashed butterfly. While unleashed, sometimes my wings, they flutter, but my quiet storm is there. She will quickly let me know her presence, oh so subtle. I may hear a song or see her angel numbers, or just a picture will show up on my phone. Recently on a Sunday, I was feeling some kind of way. I was feeling anger. I was thinking about the friends that consistently sabotaged her sobriety. So after asking for forgiveness from God, I said, Lord, will you please send me a small sign that my baby is still with me? So that Sunday, we're at church. This young lady sat right in front of me, and I saw an apple tattooed on her arm. I'm like, oh, Lord, there's my sign. But hold on. After church, my spirit said, go talk to her. So I went up to the young lady, and I shared about my baby, and she said she had just gotten that tattoo the day before, and she had prayed to God what to get. I'm like, oh, Lord. But hold on. A few weeks later, I found out her name was Alexa. I'm like, oh, Lord, you're an overachiever. That was my sign. Well, it's time for more photo shoots.
Yes, Lisa, serve it.
And living
Oh my
life
gosh, I
to
love
the
it. I see where
fullest.
she gets it from.
Me
Yes.
and my apple,
Indeed. Give me more.
we're gonna use our powers for good.
All right. Great
I will
shoot,
share
guys.
my story, but most importantly, I will spread the love of God. That is the only reason why I'm standing here, is because of God. The forecast, a new quiet storm is coming. Heaven and earth, two spirits joined together. The apple, who is in her sweet spot, in the tree, who is living gracefully in her Romans 8:28. He does all things new.
Oh, Jesus.
Jasmine, come on. Flow by time. It's supposed to be flow. That's not it. Hello? That's not it. Hey guys. We're gonna wait. Let it go. Ready for more.
It's Flow by Ty
Ready for
Tribbett.
new. Like a straight out the store. You already know. Ready to flow. Ready to move. Oh, just do it. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go.
No, no, no.
Go. Take a walk.
You already know.
Take a walk.
Oh, the do I'm puppet the back of the
Take a walk. I think she deserves to take a walk, don't you?
Sing up to me. Say, all things new. One more time, say, all
Let's
things
go.
new. Why can't I hear y'all? 1, 2, 3.
Let's go.
My God, he makes.
Come on.
Shut up, man, I know he makes. Hey, he makes.
All things new.
Why can't I hear
Let's give it up. Let's give it up for Lisa Dance Woodson. Woo. Oh my goodness, you guys, that was hard. 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 But because she loves you and because she loves God, because she loves her hero, because she loves her family and her community, she wants to do it because she knows that it will change somebody else's life. And it was bigger than her, bigger than her own feelings, bigger than her own sorrow, bigger than her own broken heart. So, whew, I'm proud of you. Okay, well, Welcome to the stage. Born from the streets of born from the streets of Long Beach, California. I'm assuming he's back there stage left somewhere. Lord have mercy. Scruncho's unique comedy. Is Scruncho here? I mean, he's like a ghost. I think he's somewhere in the building. Is he somewhere in the building? Is Scruncho somewhere in the building? Born from comedy. He started his career some time ago, but more importantly, I met him not long ago, and when we started talking about what was important, this man has been through some things. He's been shot at, he's been talked about, he has had some incredible life experiences, but more importantly, he loves God, he loves his family, he loves his community, and when he knew what I was doing, he just straight up said, yes. So, won't you welcome right here to the stage, Scruncho. What's happening? Well, hello. I think you've been in the house for a while.
Man.
You've been working in the shadows.
Man, I've been back there crying and everything, watching all these stories. I ain't never cried this much. Y'all give all the speakers, storytellers, a strong round of applause. And my girl right here, because I thought this was the most, I see a lot of stuff, so I thought this was the most amazing, like an urban TED Talk. It was like, it was like, it just touched me. I'm like, dang, that's dope, because people who hurt don't always have a platform to express, and they don't know that they pain heal people when they get on stage. So to be here and you include me in your brand, you know what I mean? I'm extremely humble, and I just want to say thank you. Y'all give her a round of applause. In this world, I'm like, let me just say this, man. Y'all don't know this, but man, ain't no way on God green earth I could be here without my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, man. Hey, y'all don't understand. I've been shot, stabbed, kidnapped, robbed. I done did a few robberies, which probably explain the kidnapping. Man, I done been through so much, and God brought me here to be like, because sometimes, I tell everybody, it's not what you go through, it's what you get through. And I tell everybody, my history is my victory, And when you hold that victory up, man, you got through it because you got through it. Man, I ain't even supposed to be here. Man, let me tell you something. Man, let me just be 100% honest with y'all. When I was born, I already knew I was an ugly baby, right? No need for the drums. Nah, cause look, but I was gifted. I started walking at like 7 months, cause nobody ever picked me up. And I'm like, when I do my comedy, I always try to uplift our people and educate people on things they don't know about us. Like, most black people, we despise and really hate racism at a deeper level than every other race, because a lot of other cultures don't understand that racism for black people start in our own immediate family. No, they don't know, like, my dad was, a lot of dark-skinned people like myself was born light-skinned, Matter of fact, the only way you can tell that a light-skinned baby gonna be dark-skinned is how? Exactly. So I look like Drake for 3 days. But the hardest part was my dad. See, I had to deal with racism in my own family because my dad was, and it hurt me because my mother told me that he was my father. My father made me believe, and I didn't know if he was mine because he was like, and I kind of felt him because he didn't really want to claim me, because here go this light-skinned man, this fine curly hair, these beautiful green eyes, looking just like Smokey Robinson. But here I come out looking like James Brown. But I'm gonna tell you something though, man. My dad, it turned out he wasn't really my real dad, you know what I mean? And I had this anger on me when I was a little dude, you know? I was full of, you know, because you gotta understand, I'm a mud baby, you know? You know what a mud baby is? See, a mud baby is when you get it out the mud. You got raw mud babies and you got mud babies. See, mud babies is the ones who, you know, had to be in the house before the street lights came on, getting punishment because they couldn't go outside, you know, play. Used to get a note, take it to the liquor store, and he'd give your mama a pack of cigarettes, you know. Real, like, for years. I remember my son one time, he wanted some Jordans and got mad when I didn't get them. I got so mad, I'm like, first of all, if I'm gonna get you some Jordans, you should have some type of athletic talent. This cat couldn't dribble, shoot, catch. Put it like if I had to get him shoes according to his talent, he'd be bare feet, you know what I mean? Because let me tell you something, I don't know if y'all know this, but I come from an era where we didn't even know shoes came in a box. I used to get my daddy get my shoes out there on Imperial and Central right there out there, ABC Market, you did ABC Market over there years ago, and my daddy get my shoes from the liquor store, you know what I mean? Let me have a half a pint of Hennessy, a pack of Cools, and a size 3. And now I'm looking at everything in here, I'm like, man, you know, I remember, you know, like these kids, they so spoiled. You know, I was a street dude at 7. We used to walk home from school, and I knew I was like different because I walked home from school at 7 years old. I remember, you know, coming in the house, and the street lights, it was like 8, and I'm knocking at the door, and I'm praying, you know, you trying to sneak in, and this one I knew was on and popping. When my mama, I was nervous, and I heard my mama say, "Boy, is that you?" I'm like, "Yeah." She said, "Don't forget to lock the door, baby." And from that point on, I had my own curfew. I was roaming the streets, real street. I mean, we used to roll tires down. I used to get like old ass tires and then go get my mama Crisco oil and oil the tires. And I roll it from one shop to another, trying to get my hustle on. You know, I used to be a bottle hustler before the crackheads took it over, young hustlers to do it. You used to get 10 cents a bottle. I used to hop in the trash can. I was so gangster with it, I wouldn't come out the trash can until I had at least $3 in bottles. You know what I mean? Listen, I'm a true hustler. You know what a real hustler is? I mean, I know everything. I could do anything except fill out an application. But I'm going to tell y'all something, and now I'm going to tell you something. We always had this, I always like to brag on my little daughters, you know. I got 2 beautiful, well-educated daughters that's very successful, and I'm proud of them because I remember as a young black man, they try to make you think that we don't love our kids, we don't take care of our kids. Let me tell you something about black men. We love and take care of our kids as much as any other race. Matter of fact, get a black man a round of applause. And you know, we be excited. I remember when it first happened, my little daughter was graduating. My little daughter, oh no, I'm good with the drum, bro. I remember my little daughter was graduating from kindergarten to 1st grade, right? And I remember being so excited and being all in the hood, telling everybody, you know, my daughter finna graduate, y'all should shoot through. I'm excited. Then her mama hit me in my first, like, what the hell moment. She said something kind of hurt my feelings. She said, you know, when you go to your daughter's graduation, won't you let everybody know what a great father you is? I'm like, what that supposed to mean, right? She said, you know what I mean? Pull up your pants and cut your braids and go get some clothes and step your game up and act like you got some sense. Immediately, ladies, I was appalled. My daughter taught me that word, man. But I humbled my spirit, ladies. I stepped my game up. I went to a high-end clothing store, got me a $5,000 Armani suit. No, I took it back right after the graduation, thank you. As soon as I walked into the auditorium, I swear to God, I I remember it like it was yesterday. Walked in, had a fresh little fade. You know, I'm all proud, you know. And my daughter, she spot me. I see these big, beautiful eyes. She see me. I see her. And immediately she burst from the stage. She ran through the audience. She leaped in my arms, hugged me so tight she started to cry. I said, baby, what's wrong? She said, Daddy, you finna go to court. But you know, it's like, you know, because my dad, when I met my real dad, I had anger on me, right? And my dad was the kind of dude, you know, because I remember I fought everybody. I messed my whole brand up because I always put my mentality over my gift. So I had to get at the end of the line because I knew my mentality, that's how I survived. But my gift was going to create a way for my generation and generation and generation to live. So I had to, how do I transition and find myself in this gift that God gave me? So as I'm going through this journey, everybody watching, I've been doing this comedy 27 years, they watch me come from the mud. And when I say the mud, I mean my mindset. And the beautiful thing about the hood is it builds when you're from the hood, it builds a substance in you. It's not there for you to stay, but it's going to give you some substance so rich to when you go where you got to go, it's going to separate you from everybody up there. It's a beautiful thing to come from the hood. But you got to understand it. So, and see, when I came to this comedy thing, I was so full, man, I was, like, when I met my real dad at 15, right? And I said, whenever I see him, I fought every day waiting to beat him up. I wanted to beat him up. And my sister told me, Dad, there's a motorcycle club down the street. I said, what? Rage hop in me. Revenge is on me. I take my little shirt off. I ball my fists up. I run down there. And here go where I fucked up. I should have just started swinging. I should have just started, but I didn't. I messed around, asked him something I couldn't handle. I said, what's up? You need to get to talking. You know who I am? And my dad is like a gangster. He was cool and calculated, but he was full of the truth. He said, yeah, but first of all, I don't like your spirit. He said, second of all, the one thing you and your mama got in common, I don't know neither one of y'all. Then he said something that kind of bothered me. I said, so what you mean you don't know me? He said, but I like you because you remind me of me. And what triggered me, he said something, he gonna tell, this still messed me up. He gonna look at me talking about, because I gave you the same gift my dad gave me. I said, you ain't never gave me nothing, partner. What the hell did you ever give me? He looked me dead in the eye and said, neglect. So now I'm gonna tell y'all this though. If you got kids, say yay, yay. Man, let me tell y'all something, man. When I got shot the first time, got shot the second time, when I was in prison, everything I went through was for a purpose. So now, when I see my daughters and my sons, now I got a chance to change. But I knew in order for me to really change, I couldn't change just my mindset. Words don't work with kids. You got to change your behavior. See, because your behavior speaks louder than words. Because I had to figure out how to be a good father. So in order to be a good father, you got to be a good husband, because that's the best way to teach your daughters is by being a good husband. And I asked God, I said, Lord, what I got to do? I want to get married. I want to be a good husband. What I got to do? He said, deny your flesh. I thought somebody else was talking. Who said that? What the? Deny your flesh. And then I'm going to tell you something. When I did that, right, and I'm going to tell you something. And you see, the worst thing, the biggest sin we have as individuals, and the biggest demonic demon that we all struggling with right now, and it's pushed by social media, It's the ability to accept accountability. It's powerful. And people are going to deflect whenever it's time to set accountability, right? And when I was going to be a good husband, I had to change my mindset. But in the process of changing your mindset, you lose close friends because they got that same mindset. And when you change yours, they'll flip on you. One of my buddies told me I was jealous because, you know, of his money or something. He said, no. I said, how's I'm jealous of you? No, he called me the devil. He said, you the devil, you just jealous. I said, how's I'm jealous when you cheat on your wife? I said, you know what you are? I said, if you cheating on your wife, you ain't nothing but an actor. And you turned your whole house into a stage play. And you playing the role of a husband, but in reality, you're a clown. I said, you got your wife playing the role as a wife, but in reality, people looking at her like she's a dumb bitch. You done turned your whole family into characters. So how am I jealous of you when you don't even know how to love? And the greatest gift God gave you is those vows. When you don't honor those vows, you can't cheat on God because you got to pay. See, a lot of times, for example, I always say, I could walk in the house tonight and catch my wife with another man, and I would never get mad. You know why? I would be hurt because I won't get mad because I didn't do nothing to her. See, in reality, men don't get mad because of what you did to them. They get mad because they have to deal with the consequences of all the things they thought they got away with. Through that one person. See, every time you cheat, it's like you setting a dumbbell in a little dark closet. And you cheat, and you set a dumbbell, and before you know it, you got a dumbbell, a closet full of dumbbells. Then you catch your wife with that one man. Now all these dumbbells come flying at you. Pow! And you looking at your wife, but you blaming her, but it's the consequences that's killing you. See, and I'm gonna tell you something. When you deal with your consequences, then number two, if I'm gonna feel sorry for her. That's number two. Because she gotta go through a long line. I do everything for my wife. I cook, open up a business. Her money is her money. My money is our money. Everything she wants. Look, her money, listen, I got her a house, put everything in her name, cars, everything. I don't want nothing from her. Because this is why. This is where men mess up. You fighting for something. Listen, when I give my wife everything, I cook, clean, take care of the kids, pay for everything, I like to see her win because I don't just do that because I'm goofy. I do that because I have daughters who's looking at me and they need to see an example how I want them to be treated when I'm not here. So I'm an example for them. You know what I mean? So when she do all these things, and you know what the hard part is? It's crazy how I give my wife everything, and she still struggle with two things. I can't believe it. I give her everything. And guess what she struggled with? You know, I only got two rules. I don't like no woman that talk more than 2 paragraphs a day. No, let me explain. That's not a narcissist statement, ladies. That's a spiritual statement. Because the Bible say that the word cometh by what? Hearing the word. So if you run, so listen. So if you run in your mouth, bitch, I can't hear my blessings. Shut your blessing blocking ass up. And number two, I don't like, excuse my terminology, but I don't like buck back bitches. You know what that is? Meaning this. So with my wife, right, I give her everything. So I bought her a designer Louis Vuitton purse that's supposed to be one of a kind. We walking not through the mall, but through the swap meet. I look and see another female with the purse that's supposed to be one of a kind to find out it's 2 of a kind. She think I'm looking at the female and I'm looking at the purse, and immediately she snapped on me. I didn't even know she gangbanged. She like, you want her blood? You want her blood? So immediately, as a man, you let your guards down with a woman. And when she yelled at me like that, I lost my edge. So I started covering up like I had titties. I'm like, oh my God, you talking to me, right? She said, yeah, I'm talking to you. So I gathered myself. I said, first of all, I'm a Crip. And then I manned up on her, you know what I mean? And I just kind of bucked at her to check her. I said, watch your mouth, who you talking to, right? Can you believe she bucked back? I'm talking to you, yo fucking ass. I lost my edge again. I'm like, oh my God, you talking to me? But as a man, if you learn how to embrace your wife, if you 50 years old, man, say yay, yay. No man should be 50 years old and not married. If you're 50 years old and you're not married, you one of two things. You even a trick or a spiritual advisor. And to the man I married, say yay, yay. Listen, all four of y'all, listen to me. I tell every man, the secret to love, ladies, it's real easy to expose a man when you're looking for love. You know what you say? Just say, if you're not transparent, I can't be with you. Because I'm going to tell you something. I wasn't perfect. You know, before I found my wife, I was a cheater. I cheated on everything. I cheated on my taxes. I cheated on... Listen, this is how big of a cheater I was. I used to literally hide my phone every night before I went to bed. Sad part is, I live by myself. But I'm going to tell y'all something, man. If you put God first, man, and stop chasing the lust of your flesh, because it's going to fool you every time. And to the women out here, if you ever want a husband or you desire a husband, just say yay, yay. These people lying and lying. Hey, lying.
Trick question. It's a trick question and we know it.
Nah, because listen, it's real simple. Here go where they lie to y'all at. They make you think that it's not a lot of good men out there. That's not true. When I'm gonna tell you the problem, and this not even funny, this is spiritual. That's the devil lying to you. It's a lot of good men out there. The problem is when the angel got cast from the heavens and a third of the angels went, those thirds of the angels came down here and they got that spirit on them. So every man that cheat on you and mess around with you, it's those third that's fucking y'all up. Because every man that cheat got about 9 women. So if all of them got 9, if all the third got 9, they covering the good men. Do y'all want to know how to find a good man? First thing, number one rule, and I want to brag on this because this means a lot to me. In the last 3 years, I should be a marriage counselor. I got 4 engagements, and I got 3 people married, and I got 3 people married and 4 engagements right now, and I think I got 1 more, so I'm working on it. It's real simple, ladies. Do y'all really want to know? Don't never talk to no man that's trying to talk to you. Don't never do that, because women been taught to flirt, and they've been taught to wait. Men are go-getters. So when you, for example, I'm gonna show you how I flip it. Years ago, one of my partners, he a comedian, he on the road, and this girl came up on him, was flirting with him, and took him back to the room. He left town, she started had rape charges on her. But he beat the case, right? Then he told me, he gonna say, yeah, Scruncho, your turn gonna come. I said, never. I said, you know why? If I'm gonna catch the case, I'm gonna choose the female that's gonna give me a case, right? So that lessens my chance. So if you never talk to a man that's trying to talk to you, because men that's trying to talk to you, that's what they do. They talk to females, you know what I mean? So when you pick the man you want to talk to, your chances gonna go up. Because the man you pick ain't gonna look nothing like the man that be picking you. Just come out that bag, stop being shy. I tell you a good Mac mama line y'all could use. I think I know your wife. Cause make sure they ain't got no ring. Say, I think I know. They be like, no, I don't. Always look for a man that's kind of shy and introverted. Cause most rich, successful men, they don't even know how to talk to women. Y'all gotta wake up. And don't go talking to men in low income areas. Stupid. You know what I mean? Go to high end areas and don't go looking like a hoe, look like a wife. And don't go to where they go to knock women. Go to where they go to be good men. Go to where they, just be, I got y'all, don't worry about it. I don't want to preach to y'all, but I want to see y'all get married and find love. And don't ever say, I don't want no man. Claim it. Claim it and stand on it. And if you ever want to be a good wife and find a good man, make yourself a good wife. See what I mean? And I want to tell y'all something else. To all the ladies out here, stay solid. Because these men out here, they water down. And as a man, you learn to grow. You stop being, how many people in here over 30? Say yay, yay. See, once you get a certain age, you start thinking the way you think it's the way it's supposed to be, but it's not. You gotta stop thinking the way it really is. It's not. For example, listen, I was hard, gangster. Let me just say this. I was raised homophobic. My daddy, homophobic. Everybody in my gang, homophobic. I was forget all this gay stuff. Now fast forward 30 years later, and I'm surrounded by gay people. But most of them is my nieces and nephews. Now, it's a beautiful thing, right? My little niece in the gay community, she what you call a stud, right? Light skin, green eyes, tattoos, cut up. Ma'am, she's a gorgeous little boy. But she said something to make me think. She said, Unc, just don't respect the things you understand. Won't you dig deep and learn to understand the things you don't respect? Powerful. This one I realized God make all people, if they breathe human life. God don't make no mistakes. So God breaking me down because he want me to be able to communicate with everybody as a comedian. So he's trying to get this bitterness out of me. So 7 months later, my little nephew born. 6 nieces, first nephew. D-Love, I almost named that little dude Baby Scruncho. And every race love new life. Man, I was so excited, I couldn't believe it. Listen, I drove all the way from Long Beach to Compton. My license was suspended. That's a long way. Get to the hospital. And as soon as I picked my little nephew up, I realized that's the softest boy I ever met in my life. He was northern soft. As soon as he started crying, I looked at my sister. She looked at me. We looked at him. I looked at her. I said, sis, the nigga gay, right? Look, he cried with a smack. He cried like that. I said, oh, wait. This is the way he was crying. Let me show y'all something. I want to prove to you homophobia or something. Let me show you something. My nephew started crawling at 7 months. Now, a straight baby, right? A straight baby crawl one leg in front of the other, right? Like this, gag, gag, goo, goo. Gag, gag, goo, goo. Gag, 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 goo, goo. Am I right? I said, am I right? Well, answer me this, all you homophobians. If God don't make gay people, why my little nephew start crawling? He can't walk, talk, sing, or none of that stuff. Why is he the first baby I ever seen that twerk when he crawled? Oh, hey, oh, hey. To the gay people, just stop being so sensitive. No, just be fair. Don't be so gangster. Because gay people hella sensitive. I'm coming out of Ruth Chris. Right? Now, I'm already mad because it's my daughter's birthday. You know, and I had to pay the tab. So I'm coming out of Ruth Chris. Right? We in valet parking. Now, a gay dude, it ain't what he said to me. It's how he spoke to me. And it offended me. I didn't say nothing to him. He see me talk about, yahoo! I said, what the fuck you just say to me? He like, yahoo! So I said, homie, don't you ever yahoo me? What you mean, yahoo? He like, can I ask you for some directions? How do I get to the 405? How do I get to the 405 freeway from here? He got mad at me because I said, motherfucker, go straight. Hey, man, listen, I just want to come up here. Y'all got to really March 22nd, my TV show launch. It's called West Comedy Jam. It's a stand-up comedy show like a West Coast version of Def Jam. So that launched on Netflix. And Ice Cube is the executive producer of my 1-hour special. It's called Mud Baby. Never been a comedian from California in the last ever that ever made it to the elite level like everybody y'all see, and there gotta be a reason for that. And I got another special. I just shot a half-an-hour special with Eddie Griffin, you know, called Out the Mud, you know what I'm saying? So y'all gotta make sure y'all keep supporting her brand, you know what I mean? And we gotta put some money into it. Everybody invest. We need capital. Put some capital into her because this should be on a bigger platform because there's too many people out there hurting all over and they have nowhere to release it. And this platform give them the time because your story, Lisa, you know, I didn't see everybody's story, but yours really touched me. Very powerful, you know, when you, and you know. So I just want to tell y'all, man, thank y'all for having me. I love all, you know, seriously.
So much. I mean, we've all got stories to tell, and more importantly, it's a place to tell it. And thank you so much, Scruncho, for coming by. We appreciate you. We appreciate all of you. Let me give you this. Hold on one second. Take that, Kamal. Thank you so much. Let all my storytellers come to the stage real quick. I just want to thank you all for being here. You guys are all awesome. Thank you one more time. Lisa, everybody, come on up real quick. I want to just give you one more time. I want to give you some love. Let's get some pictures really quickly. Thank you, Anthony. We got Anthony Gouche. Thank you so much, Dr. C. Love. Thank you, Skipp. We appreciate you. Thank you, Lisa. You're awesome. You did great. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dee. You're amazing. Where's Dwayne? Thank you, Dwayne. Want to give it up, give it up. Thank you for the cast, the crew. What's up? Okay, thank you for Kamal, who did all our sound and thank you for Gabriana Crawford for doing my voiceover. Thank you so much for Lawrence. The bassist, Lawrence, come on up here. We appreciate you, Lawrence. Yes, yes, please, please. Where you at? Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. All right, let's get a quick picture. Everybody come on up. Come on up. Daryl Brown, come here. Hold 1 second. Everybody, thank you everybody for coming. We appreciate you. Look out, we're gonna do another one in a couple of months. We're gonna keep doing themes and young people. We'll bring some musicians forward. We'll bring some athletes talking about the sweet spot, all kinds of themes. Again, thank you. You guys get home safely. Thank you for coming out. We appreciate you. Everybody have a good night and get home safely. Thank you.